Hi everyone, welcome to Yoga with Cheryl. I'm Cheryl. For those of you who haven't met me before, thanks for finding me. We will be doing a short morning yoga practice. Be good for any time of the day. All you'll need today is your mat, and today we'll be doing it from my backyard. So unroll your mat and let's get ready. Let's start down on our hands and our knees positioned underneath the hips and wrists just forward of the shoulders. Spread your fingers wide. Start to sashay your hips a little side to side. Let's start to wake up the spine, wipe the sleep out of your eyes, get those muscles waking up. And we'll start to circle those hips around. Really right now, whatever feels good to you. And maybe a little bit of forward and back, circling. Again, whatever helps to wake you up. Maybe inhaling as you draw the shoulders towards the wrists and exhaling as the sitting bones draw back towards the heels. Tucking those toes under, let's start to wake up your feet. Find your breath, breathing nice and deep. Invigorate your body with oxygen. Fantastic. Let's welcome in this day with an intention of positivity as you bow down to the ground, bowing down to this day and all of its generosity, whatever it offers you. Conscious breathing here, waking up the back. Start to place the hands underneath the shoulders. Walk your hands up your thighs, and I'm going to keep my toes tucked under in the back. Inhale, sweep the arms up, take one wrist, lean up and over to the side. Expanding and breathing into the side body. Inhale up and exhale, taking it to the other side, clasping opposite wrist. Inhale, coming all the way up, spread those fingers wide. You're going to bring them around your back body and place them on your low back. Maybe stretch them out first before you do so. Fingertips to point down, draw the elbows a little closer together. Keep those glutes engaged to help protect the back, lifting up out of the chest. So instead of thinking of dropping back, lifting up, thinking about that chest opening, the breathing being open, breathing here. There should be no pain. Remember, we never engage in this if it causes any pain. Beautiful. Bring those shoulders back above the hips. Let's interlace the fingers. Draw those elbows together. Lift your chest again. Keep the glutes working. Keep support through the lower belly. Waking up, opening the chest, finding space for breath. And release. Coming back. Place your hands back underneath your shoulders. This time the fronts of the ankles are lengthening along the ground. Coming into cow and cat, I'm going to use my elbows here a little bit, just get a little bit more mobility in my elbows, my wrists, my shoulders. You might keep your arms a little bit more straight. Inhaling as the collarbones come forward, exhaling as you look towards your navel and engage those abdominal muscles. Inhale, scoop the heart forward, open the throat. Exhale, round out the back, belly draws to spine. Do that a couple more times. Now you're just going to sweep your legs to one side and call this Mermaid Pose. So you're not sitting on your heel, it's just kind of tucked under and behind, planting one hand on the ground. Inhale, reaching the arm up, reaching up and over. So you're reaching away from those feet, maybe bending the elbow a little bit here, just finding something that feels good. Great, let's press into that hand, come up and sweep your legs over to the other side. And we'll just do that on the other side, planting one hand underneath the shoulder, bending into that bottom arm, reaching the other arm, wrapping it a little bit more leisurely around the head, looking down towards the hand. A few conscious breaths, breathing into the body, conscious breathing here. Inhale, coming up, and then just bring your feet in front of you and bring the soles of your feet together. Taking your hands around your feet, or maybe even they're going to support the outer edges of your knees. We want to make sure our spine stays nice and dignified. Take a deep breath in, lengthen through your spine. And as you exhale, let those legs open up wide. You can even give them a little bit of an adjustment there, peeling the inner thighs up and back. Chest stays open, focusing here on bringing in oxygen, but not getting lightheaded, just infusing the body with prana, with energy as you greet this day, or perhaps just take a break in your day. Now take your feet a little more forward, walk your sitting bones a little further back, bring the soles of your feet together. I'm going to hold the outer parts or the under parts of the knees as you lengthen from your sitting bones all the way to your crown. So we're not focusing on rounding here, just lengthening out the muscles along the spine. Let's begin to bring those knees together. Lengthen your legs out in front of you and just plant one foot beside the inner edge of the opposite knee. Hands clasping around that shin. Inhale, get nice and tall. Find that length in your spine. Again, focusing on the breath, invigorating you, enhanced in your lungs. Deep breath in, and then on an exhale, you're going to cross perhaps one foot over the other leg. And holding that knee with the opposite arm, inhale, and then exhale, find a rotation through your spine. Breathe here. That's great. So let's begin to unwind, uncross your leg, and bring the opposite knee into the chest. Inhale to get tall. Hold that shin in nice and close. Get nice and tall here to find your breath, to find length in the spine. You can either cross that foot across the knee, or as I'm demonstrating here, if it doesn't cross the ground easily, you can just keep it where it is. Inhale for length. And exhale, emptying the body of breath, finding rotation and stretching out the muscles along the vertebral column. That's great. Let's come back to center. Bend both knees, plant both feet approximately parallel. Hands can wrap on the shins or behind the thighs, rounding and lifting. So like cow and cat, but from a sitting position. Exhaling, engage your abdominals here. Use as little support through your hands as you need. And inhale, lifting the chest. This feels like a great massage all along the spine and strengthening the abdominals. Finishing up here and crossing your legs. Continuing to invigorate ourselves with spinal twists. First, inhale, stretch the arms up, and then exhale, let those arms sweep down to one side. Inhale to sweep up. Exhale, over to the other side. Inhale, sweeping up. Exhale, revolve. Do a little bit with a little bit more speed as long as it feels right. Otherwise, stay nice and slow. Inhaling as the arms rise, and exhaling as they find a side. And as the hands come to center again, separate your hands slightly, lift your heart, open your throat. Support this through the lower abdominals, lifting and breathing, invigorated, saying yes to the day. Yes, I meet you right here, right now. Plant the hands underneath the shoulders. Take those knees underneath the hips and start to lengthen one leg out behind you. Stretch out your calf here, pressing into the heel of that elongated leg. Breathing here. Keep some support through your abdominals. And switching sides, lengthening the other leg out, leaning back into that heel, keeping the abdominals supporting you. And breathe. Feels good in the Achilles, in the calf. Planting that knee underneath the hip. So both knees starting underneath the hips, and then maybe walking your hands either slightly forward and then drawing the sitting bones back. We'll walk the hands over to one side. Breathe into the side body once again. The focus this morning, enhancing the breath in the body. Now cross and walk your hands over to the other side, stretching out the side body once again. Inhale, come to center in preparation for downward facing dog, continuing to stretch out the back of the body. Make sure the ears stay in between the arms. If you need to, walk your feet slightly wider or your hands slightly wider. Ensure that those wrists are relatively parallel to the top of the mat. Just taking your dog for a walk here, stretching one leg out at a time, and maybe even varying the distance between your feet. Feel that. It feels good. Keep your belly strong into the back body, but not so strong that you can't breathe. Start to walk your feet towards your hands, coming into a deeper forward fold. Bend your knees as necessary. Inhale to come up and exhale to fold. Inhale, lengthening, keeping the collarbones broad, the back of the chest, the back of the shoulders broad. Inhale to come up, exhale to fold. Take your feet wider now. See, maybe even feel a little bit pigeon-toed. Opening up, letting one arm rise to the sky, keeping one hand on the ground. You're not dropping into that wrist. Let's switch sides. Nothing here is too long today. Opening and breathing. So we started on the ground. We're slowly bringing ourselves up to standing postures. But before we do so, walk your hands forward and take a wide downward facing dog. Breathe here. Keep edging those heels to the ground. Now walk your hands back underneath your shoulders and toe heel your feet closer together, but not any closer than the distance of your hips. Keeping those heels on the ground, maybe rolling up the mat if you need to. Use those elbows to open up the inner thighs, lifting the chest. Breathe here. Keep your pelvic floor supporting you too, so keep it drawing in and up. Taking one hand to the ground, stretch the other arm up to the sky, or maybe wrap it around your low back. A few breaths here, and then switch sides. Breathe. Begin to elevate your sitting bones. Bring your feet so that they're parallel. Now rising all the way up, stacking vertebra over vertebra. Now begin to step your feet wide as we come into some strong standing poses. Let's take the right toes and point them to the top of the mat. Track that knee over the ankle. Inhale, rising up. Exhale, bending into that front knee. Inhale. So it's a little bit quicker. Inhale to reach up. Exhale, press down. Inhale to reach. Exhale, warrior two. Coming into Trikonasana, stretching out over that front foot. And start to open your hands apart from each other, reaching nice and wide. Breathe. Inhale to rise up and switch sides. Bending into the opposite knee. Make sure that knee is tracking over the middle of the foot, over the ankle. Coming into the last one and preparing for Trikonasana, lengthening out that bent knee. Nice and long through both legs, opening up across the chest, reaching from the heart, both up and down. Breathe, maybe look towards those top fingers, keeping the legs engaged, the feet rooted. Fine breath. Beautiful. Inhale, come all the way up. Bend into that front leg, and then start to heel toe those feet closer together. Draw the shoulder blades together, lift your pelvic floor, engage your glutes, lifting your heart open to this day. Thanks for joining me. I hope you have an amazing day.